Welcome to the fourth video of chapter 2. In this video I will explain everything you need to know about negative numbers, the three symbols we use for comparisons, and you will meet Mathilda the witch. So make sure you have enough space in your notebook and be ready to make lots of notes, because this episode is one you remember for a long time. Here we go! Before I introduce you all to my friend Mathilda the witch, I will explain a few things about negative numbers and the special symbols we use to compare different numbers. First of all, a negative number is a number below zero. This you already know. You also know that when talking about negatives, you have to write a minus sign in front of it. So minus 8 is a negative number and 8 is a positive number. If we were to draw a number line, negatives are on the left side of the zero and all the positive numbers are on the right side of the zero. The bigger the number, the farther away from zero. So minus 10 is farther away from zero than minus 7. When comparing two numbers with each other, we can use different symbols, one of which you've already used quite a bit. With the numbers 4 and 10, you can say that 4 is smaller than 10. We write that with this notation, a small arrow pointing to the left. We pronounce this as 4 is less than 10. If we were to swap the numbers, we have to say that 10 is bigger than 4. We write it with the opposite symbol. We pronounce this as 10 is greater than 4. But if you have the same number but written differently, for example 3.5 and 3.5, we can't say that one is bigger than the other, as they are both the same. So in these cases we use the already known symbol is equal to, because 3.5 is equal to 3.5. When working with negatives, be careful. Minus 7 is less than minus 1, as minus 7 is farther away to the left than minus 1. And 1 is greater than minus 8, as 1 is further to the right than minus 8. You can also see it as 1 degree Celsius is warmer than minus 8 degrees Celsius. So sometimes we don't work with a horizontal number line, but with a vertical number line. If you have trouble remembering which symbol does what, you could see the arrow as a Pac-Man. And you all know that Pac-Man is trying to eat as many dots as possible. So the Pac-Man will always open his mouth towards the greatest number. Before Mathilda gets here to explain the special plus-minus list, I have just enough time to tell you about what we call the additive inverse of a number. The additive inverse of a number is the number opposite on the number line of a particular number. Sounds pretty difficult, until you realize that that means that 4 and minus 4 are each other's inverse. Other examples are 5 and minus 5, and so are 3 and minus 3. Well, that was easy. So now you already know what negative numbers are, and I even managed to squeeze in the additive inverse into this video. I think it's time to call in Mathilda the witch and start the main course of this video. Good morning, Mathilda. Thanks for coming.
Hello, teacher, and you're welcome. Always happy to come along, you know that. We're going to talk about negative numbers, right?
That's right, and because you said you were the perfect person to teach about this topic, I invited you here today. I've already told them about the number line and the symbols used for comparing numbers. So I've saved the best part for you. Do you need any assistance?
Yes. You can help me. Could you lift my cauldron up on the table so everyone can see it?
Sure, Mathilda, here it is. Quite heavy indeed.
It is, dear, but luckily I have this very strong man to assist me.
So, Mathilda, what's so special about this cauldron? Do you make potions and oils with it?
In the old days, when I was still a naughty young witch, oh yes. A love potion here, a sleeping potion there. Those were the days. Nowadays, I only use it to warm my bathtub. And for everyone who wishes to know about negative numbers, of course.
And that's why you're here. But I still don't understand how this cauldron can help me understand negative numbers.
I see. Well, I hear that a lot, my dear. I didn't understand it at first until my magician secretly showed me her magic cauldron.
Well, Mathilda, color me interested. Take it away.
Okay, here we go. As I said, this is my magic cauldron. It's a very handy piece of magic equipment for witches like me, because we always work with potions that need to be at the perfect temperature. If the temperature is off by only 1 degree, it might explode and burn our lovely houses in the wood. And we wouldn't like that, would we?
Oh no, I don't want that. And I also like my classroom, so better be careful.
But with this cauldron, everything in it will stay exactly at the same temperature, no matter how long it stays on the fire. Even if I go for a little midnight flight on my broom.
So, how do you change the temperature, Mathilda? Do you use a special spell or something?
Sort of, you see. With the standard edition of my cauldron, I received quite a few of these lovely magic cubes as well. Red cubes to increase the temperature and blue cubes to decrease the temperature.
Ah, so that's what those cubes do.
That's right. Could you pass me the box with the red cubes?
Sure, here it is.
The standard temperature is always 10 degrees Celsius. Look, you can see that on this smart thermostat.
Oh, that's a neat little thing.
Now watch as I toss in 4 magical red cubes.
Oh, it jumped directly to 14 degrees Celsius.
That's right, because 10 plus 4 is equal to 14.
So if I throw in another 8 red cubes, it should become 22 degrees, right?
Indeed, because 14 plus 8 is equal to 22.
And I already see you grab the box with blue cubes.
Yes, and look what happens when I toss in 5 of these lovely blue cubes.
Then the new temperature should become 70 degrees Celsius, right?
Very good, teacher, because 22 plus minus 5 is the same as 22 minus 5, which is equal to 17.
Oh, I'm already in love with this cauldron. Could I add 7 more blue cubes to our mixture? Because that should bring the temperature down to 10 degrees Celsius, right?
Now you're getting it, teacher, because 17 plus minus 7 is the same as 17 minus 7, and that gives me 10 degrees.
I knew it! But what happens to your little blocks? Do they melt? And do you then have to buy a new box when you run out?
No, silly. I've got a special cube recovery utensil. Look!
Mathilda, I'm pretty sure that is just a normal spoon.
It is indeed. And with it, I can take out any cubes that are inside. Look what happens when I take out 2 red cubes.
So if you take out 2 red ones, then the temperature should drop 2 degrees, right?
You're correct. Watch the thermostat.
Oh, the temperature dropped by 2 degrees, alright. That's because I can write 10 minus plus 2 as 10 minus 2, which is 8 degrees. And if I take another red cube out, then I have the subtraction 8 minus plus 1, which is equal to 7.
You clearly understand how my cauldron works. How good of you. And what do you think will happen if I take out 6 blue cubes?
That should mean the temperature will increase by 6 degrees, right? Is that how it works? But how does that look like in an exercise?
Well, very simple. Look, 7 minus 6.
And minus minus becomes a plus.
And that means we can write it as 7 plus 6, which is equal to 13 degrees.
This is truly a wonderful invention. So if I translate it all to math, if I see a plus plus situation, I can write it as a single plus. When I see a plus minus, it becomes a minus. A minus plus also becomes just a single minus. And when I see a minus minus situation in my exercise,
it becomes a plus.
Great, thanks for explaining, Mathilda. This is so much better than what I was planning to tell them.
Sometimes you just need some witchcraft to explain things more clearly.
Mathilda, once again, I thank you for your explanation. Let me finish the video and we can have a drink somewhere. My treat.
Great, how generous of you. I'll be waiting for you in the teacher's room, my dear. See you there. Bye.
Okay, see you soon. Bye. Well, everybody, before I end this video, let me show you when to use this plus minus list. You might come across an exercise such as this one. -5 plus -3 minus -9. With the plus minus list in the back of our head, we first change every double sign in a single sign. That means that this plus minus becomes a minus, and that this minus minus turns into a plus. We now have the line -5 -3 plus 9. Just so you know, the list only works when signs are directly next to one another. So this minus and this minus do not turn in a plus. Understood? Perfect. So that means we first do -5 -3 to receive -8, and then we add the 9. Our final answer will then be 1. So, now you know how to use my sign list. Well, I got a date with the witch, and as I don't want to be turned into a frog, I better not keep her waiting. Make sure you remember to always be on the lookout for multiple symbols in your exercises. We will also be using this list later in chapter 3, so make sure you write it somewhere in your notebook so you can always find it. In the next video, I will explain to you what a formula is and how to use them correctly. An important word you will learn is evaluate, but I will tell you more about that in the next video. Bye bye!